Good evening. This is Daily News from Addis Standard, broadcasting from Addis Ababa. Today is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Here are the top stories we're following tonight. Sudan Air Force bombings kill over 1,700 civilians, investigation finds. A new investigation by the Sudan Witness Project has found that Sudan's Air Force has carried out hundreds of deadly airstrikes on towns, markets, schools, and displacement camps, killing at least 1,700 civilians since the civil war began in April 2023. The report, funded by the UK's Foreign Ministry, analyzed 384 airstrikes between April 2023 and July 2025. It concludes that the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, repeatedly used unguided bombs in populated areas. The Rapid Support Forces, RSF, which does not operate warplanes, was excluded from the airstrike analysis. While the RSF has faced widespread international condemnation for ethnic massacres in Darfur, with the U.S. accusing it of genocide, investigators say the SAF must also be held accountable for indiscriminate attacks that have devastated civilian communities. The report is the largest known dataset documenting air bombardments in the conflict, adding new evidence to growing international concerns about violations by both warring parties. Indian Prime Minister Modi to visit Ethiopia next week. Aiming to bolster development partnership and Africa engagement, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Ethiopia next week, the first by an Indian premier in more than a decade. According to WION News, Mr. Modi is expected in Addis Ababa on the 16th of December for a two-day stay as part of a regional tour that also includes Jordan and Oman. During the visit, he will hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. The two leaders last met at the 2023 BRICS Summit, where they discussed cooperation in trade, investment, defense, IT, agriculture, and youth skills development. As members of the expanded BRICS grouping, Ethiopia and India are also expected to revive momentum toward the long-delayed 4th India-Africa Forum Summit, last held in 2015. India remains a major development partner for Ethiopia, funding railway, sugar, and power transmission projects, while thousands of Ethiopians have received training under the ITEC program. Mr. Modi's stop in Ethiopia will be followed by visits to Oman and Jordan, highlighting India's growing strategic engagement across Africa and the Gulf. Ethiopia, federal police launch probe into TikTok award attendees over indecent attire. The Ethiopian Federal Police say they have detained several young individuals who appeared on live television during the recent 3rd G-Power TikTok Creative Award wearing what authorities called revealing attire that violates cultural and moral norms. In a statement issued this morning, the police said an investigation is underway into attendees who wore what they described as indecent clothing during the Addis Ababa event. The probe also targets those who organized and sponsored the award ceremony. Individuals named by police include Wengilawit Gebre, Andreas Bere, Bereket Tsagaya Jafar, Mekdim Dereje Mengistu, Grumgazahegen Kechini, and Johannes Mekonnen Haile Mariam. The federal police said the investigation aims to ensure legal accountability and curb what it described as the spread of imported cultural influences and clothing styles, deemed harmful to societal values and young people. 1 million dead, 1 million displaced. The Irish News reports on the aftermath of Ethiopia's forgotten civil war. The Irish News is drawing renewed attention to the humanitarian crisis in northern Ethiopia, where the Tigray region is still reeling from the civil war that ended 3 years ago. According to aid groups cited by the report, an estimated 1 million people have died during and after the conflict, including those killed in fighting, as well as deaths linked to malnutrition, disease, and the collapse of basic services. Another 1 million people remain displaced, too afraid, or unable to return to their homes. Conditions in displacement camps remain severe. Women and children face a high risk of gender-based violence, while shortages of food, medicine, and shelter continue to put lives at risk. In Adigrat, at a former airport now hosting thousands of displaced people, a single mother named Letberhan described fleeing her home just days after giving birth in 2020. 5 years later, she and her 6 children still live in a small tent shared on a dirt floor. She says she cannot return home due to insecurity and fears of further violence from militias. Many in the camp suffer untreated trauma from the war, and even daily activities like collecting firewood expose residents, especially adolescent girls, to the risk of attack. The report highlights how, despite the end of active fighting, the humanitarian and security crisis in Tigray remains far from resolved. National Election Board of Ethiopia officially recognizes Simret as regional political party. The National Election Board of Ethiopia has officially registered Tigray Democratic Solidarity, Simret, as a regional political party led by Getachew Reda, former Tigray interim president and current Horn of Africa advisor to the Prime Minister. Simret, founded by former TPLF officials, seeks to present a fresh political vision for Tigray, addressing criticisms historically aimed at the TPLF and the EPRDF. The party's ideology emphasizes citizens' rights, freedoms, and regional development, particularly focusing on farmers, youth, and intellectuals. The party's founding conference, held in Addis Ababa on 24 October 2025, elected its leadership, including Getachew Reda as president, Nega Asefa as first vice president, and Haftu Kiros as vice president. Party officials say Simret aims to organize forces with new thinking to address post-war challenges in the region. The formation of Simret follows a factional split within the TPLF in 2024, when Getachew Reda criticized the party's 14th Congress and later joined the federal government as a special advisor. Simret positions itself as a new liberal democratic alternative, hoping to contribute to peace and stability in Tigray while engaging meaningfully with the federal government. National Election Board of Ethiopia sets 1st June 2026 as polling day for 7th general election. The National Election Board of Ethiopia has officially set 1st June 2026 as the polling day for the 7th general election. NEBE chairperson Melitwork Hailu said the board has been preparing extensively, including establishing a digital system for registering political parties, candidates, and voters. Political parties must submit registration documents between 17th November and 2nd December 2025, while candidate registration will run from 10th December 2025 to 9th January 2026. Recruitment of executive officers for constituency offices is underway, with 131,000 applicants taking exams. NEBE has licensed 143 civil society organizations to provide voter education and emphasize that creating an enabling environment for parties and voters is ongoing. Melitwork also confirmed that the board is not engaging with the TPLF following the revocation of the party's status. Local elections will be addressed after the general election concludes, and NEBE remains open to media engagement while managing overlapping workloads. That's all for tonight's daily news. Thank you for watching. For continuous updates and detailed reporting, visit addisstandard.com. Have a peaceful night.